The riders a chance to test the track conditions and clean up the grid starting places, because if you're on the wrong side of the grid here, there's parts of this grid that of course will be cleaned as the natural racing line has emerged. This is an opportunity to make it kind of a fair square, I guess you could say, so all grid slots are equal, and the track's on a practice start as well.
Yeah, if any of you joined us for the After the Flight shows during the pre-season test here back in February, we did see a moment where Fabio Quartararo did a practice start. I think it was on the second day of the test, where he pulled away, in fact might have been day one, but he pulled away from one of the grid slots up against the pit wall off the racing line, and he had an absolute shocker. Didn't get away at all and kicked up all sorts of dust as he did so you can understand why they're doing that. Franco Morbidelli just about getting himself into position as Juan Mir heads off, and has Fabio Quartararo got another problem?
Was he just waiting for somebody ahead of him, maybe just to clear
Shrugged the shoulders. He's
not had it all his own way, has he, so far? That Yamaha underneath him has not been particularly reliable. He won't want an unwanted hat-trick here this weekend. He moves it forward. That was more like it. That was not a practice start of the test, as Lewis mentioned a couple of weeks ago. About half a second after he got the clutch, it was Greg Hancock Speedway style.
Yeah, he nearly went hard left into the pit wall.
Yeah, it was. So there you go, on your screen is confirmation. It's just this practice start session. Just a bit of time for the riders here to get their launch controls dialed in, work out how much grip there is in these conditions. Of course, we're hoping that the track's much drier for tomorrow's 27-lap Grand Prix of Indonesia.
Yeah, very keen eye on the skies tomorrow morning. As we've mentioned, we've woken up just about every morning here, certainly the last 2 mornings here in Indonesia, 2 biblical monsoon-like downpours in the morning, and of course we're now approaching midday local time. It's 11:45 local time here in Indonesia, and yeah, we're still not at the stage where it's a fully dry track. Still 2 damp patches out there, although it's near enough dried up. And for the MotoGP race tomorrow, it gets underway well into the afternoon. Of course, they'll be hoping the conditions are dried up. Moto3 will be certainly hoping that it's dry in the morning, because they will certainly be in for a wet Grand Prix, or certainly a mixed conditions Grand Prix. Some more practice starts going on just out of our window. It's Andrea Dovizioso and Marco Bezzecchi for their practice starts.
So this man leads that rain-affected FP3 session with a 1:34.067. Marquez from Bagnaia, Polispargo was 6th, and Juan Mir 9th. All immaterial though, because they are going to have to go into Q1 later on today. 4 big names, doesn't go into 2, does it? Only 2 automatic places are up for grabs in Q1, so there's going to be at least 2 real big names. 2 men who would have fancied their chances of fighting for the win here tomorrow. They could still, of course, do that, who are going to be starting from outside of those first 12 front rows on the grid. Fabio Quartararo then, well, he'll be hoping that's where he's starting the race from tomorrow. He slots that Yamaha into P1. This is the pole position on the starting grid here at the Pertamina Mandalika circuit. I've got to say there's been a couple of really impressive launches away off the line by Fabio Quartararo. The Catters will certainly be hoping they may dial in or dial out some of their starting issues, because we saw the GP 2022s a couple of weeks ago. Qatar really struggled off the line. Was it all connected to this new front hole shot device they've been experimenting with? It's been on and off the bike at times so far here this weekend, but Quartararo nailed those 2 practice starts, so he can get himself on that front row and make start